Good morning and a happy Wednesday morning to everybody. We have a lot to cover in video one because Harry and Meghan have lost more staff and more than just at Archwell. Whew, let's jump in and cover all this, shall we? Let's go. My oh my, the revolving door at Archwell has spun again because Harry and Meghan's chief of staff just quit. He was only in the position for 3 months. This is Josh Kettler. He was handed the title, and of course, Harry and Meghan put out a statement that he is going to be the ideal candidate to guide them through their next phase. However, now they're claiming that he was only hired on a trial basis, and the decision to part ways was mutual, with both sides agreeing it was not the correct fit. Are you kidding? You know, where have I heard that before? We mutually agreed to part ways. Oh, right. That's Spotify, remember? We mutually agreed to part ways only for Spotify to come out and basically call them liars and say they were terminated for not meeting metrics. And then Harry and Meghan, clapping back saying they didn't tell us the lay of the land and we didn't know what we were doing and we were set up to fail. Same exact scenario. We've seen this guy before. Now, he was previously the chief of staff of communications at the platform Cognition. He was with them in Nigeria. He was with Harry in London for the 10th anniversary of the Invictus Games. We are all aware that since 2018, they have lost 18 senior figures. This does not include the nannies they fired and other people. They have lost more than 9 people since they moved to California alone, including key staff from Archwell Productions. How about Bennett LaVine? You guys remember him? He quit in January after 2 years. He's the one who worked on their Netflix docuseries. How about producer Ben Browning? He was an Oscar-nominated producer who left in January 2023. And that was a month after Rebecca Sananis, who was producing Meghan's Spotify podcast, quit. That was December of 2022, the same month that Mandana Diani, who was president of Archwell, stepped away. She was only there a year and a half. Here was Christina Schrimmer, who did Archwell's publicity. She left after 1 year. Farrah Taylor, who led the Archwell production marketing team. She left 1 year. Catherine St. Laurent was the chief of staff at Archwell for less than a year. Nashika Kumble, she was less than 2 years as their senior vice president of scripted television. Tanya Holes, who was the head of communication, left after 19 months. Keep in mind, as you're looking at the faces of all of these people, that these are not just, as they said in the article, these are not just employees they found off the street. These are people who had previously excelled when working for demanding bosses in high-performance companies and environments. And every time somebody left, Harry and Meghan have had some sort of excuse as to why the person was leaving their employ. They have downplayed it every single time. We wish them well. It was only temporary. It wasn't supposed to be forever. We've heard that story before too about some of the staff. And that makes you wonder if the bullying allegations aren't real. How much crap do you think people are really going to take from these two? Finally, one of their ex-staffers has stepped up and told the Mail Online, and I'm quoting, "What may be the most telling is that the entire time I worked there, I don't think I heard a single current or former employee on their staff say that they would take the job again if given the chance." And now we are also made aware that Meghan is having trouble finding somebody as a CEO for American Riviera Orchard. Personally, I think the word is out about her. I think people know to avoid her like the plague. She's too difficult to work for. She can be bullying. She can be just too demanding and condescending, and she'll pile the work on you, which is what she did to another staff member who left, saying she was doing the job of 4 people. It was reported that she'd interviewed several people, but none of them apparently fit the bill. You know what? They probably told her, "I won't be bullied by you." So the question is, he was supposed to go with them to Colombia. What happens now? I mean, I'm sure James Holt will go. He went with them last time, but you really need somebody to run the ship, so to speak, and now he's gone. So what happens next? Unfortunately, we will not be able to hear from this gentleman directly because, like with all of their staff, he signed an NDA. Oh my, I'm sure it's ironclad, so he can't come out and tell everybody what happened. Which is another point I just want to make before, let me digress off my story for just a second. Meghan's all about women using their voices, people using their voices, and yet they slap NDAs on every single person who works for them so that they can't use their voice to talk about how they were treated while employed by Harry and Meghan. Maybe he'll want to join the Sussex Survivor Club in the UK. Maybe he can start a branch here in the United States. God knows there's enough employees. We know that Mr. Kettler went with Harry and Meghan to Nigeria, and he was next to Harry when Harry met the government officials in the West African country. And supposedly his role on that visit was supposed to be, training or a foretaste of what was going to happen in the future. So he would know in the future what to expect. Now, you guys know it's not just Archwell that's losing people. We know that Prince Harry's charity chief quit while all of this was going on about Harry, going to get the ESPY award. Dominic Reed. Now, he's the one that supposedly made Invictus a global thing, and he was the one who wanted the winter, Olympics, so to speak, and yet he's leaving. So the question is, why is he jumping ship now? Something is going on behind the scenes, and he wanted no part of it. Maybe he heard about the information that was being released via the Freedom of Information Act that showed that Harry and Meghan were taking up 24% of all the money coming in because these people who have earned $60 million in the last few years don't feel that they should pay for their own security, airfare, hotel, food, and Meghan's ridiculous clothing. And don't forget that when those two senior Canadian people that were working for Invictus questioned the budget, the fact that even with all the money given, they were not going to make the budget because of the money being given to Harry and Meghan, that as soon as they questioned it, they were reshuffled. Basically, they were sacked. They lost their jobs. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Hit the like and the subscribe button. Hit the bell for all notifications. Go down into the description box where you'll find the link to video number 2. Follow me over. Let's go.